all leadership is influence. If you want to have the most effective skills necessary to move your life forward, I would venture to say that you need the skills of effective, lasting, and ethical influence. So I like to call this influencing with integrity. And when I was beginning my work with individuals and I was recruiting on a mass scale, thousands of people across the country, I started to understand that there were real principles and distinctions between those who could get other people to take action and those who couldn't. I started to realize that there were real, identifiable, reducible systems and principles between those individuals who were able to get buy-in for their ideas, who were able to get people to invest in them, who were able to get people enlisted in a cause, and those who failed to do so, right? How many of you guys would like to be able to influence anybody with integrity? How many of you think that that might be useful for moving your life forward? Say aye. Okay, so I certainly don't know all the answers, and I never will. I'll be a student for the rest of my life, just like all of you guys will be. But what I've been focused on is trying to understand what are the reducible, most significant answers that can help somebody shift their ability to influence in any situation. And so, as I mentioned to you, the first thing that you absolutely must be able to do is acknowledge, appreciate, and enter someone else's model of the world. Because if you are committing the absolute fatal fallacy of standing behind your own model of the world unflinchingly and caring more about being right than you care about actually reaching someone and magnetically pulling them over to what it is that you believe or what you hope to empower them through, then you'll never reach them. Let's think of something concrete. Think back to a time when somebody was trying to sell you something, okay? And let's say a time where they were unsuccessful. Okay, can you guys all think of that time? You got a moment in your mind where someone was trying to sell you something or get you to do something and they were unsuccessful? Can you think of that? So here's what I'm curious of. Could you tell that they were in it for you or for themselves? For themselves, right? Can you think of any time where somebody was trying to influence you and you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that they cared more about meeting their own bottom line than they cared about empowering you? Was that influential for you? Did that move you across the action threshold and get you to take action? More than likely not, unless you absolutely knew already that you needed that thing or you absolutely needed to do it, and you're like, okay, this person is a crappy salesman and I really don't like them, but I need this anyway. Unless you had enough leverage on yourself already. So let me ask you a different question. Can you think of a time when someone was trying to get you to do something and you didn't want to do it initially, but they were so committed and they were so compassionate and they so firmly believed that you taking action was going to be in your best interests that eventually you were persuaded? How many of you guys have had an experience like this? Say aye. What is going on there? Isn't it fantastic to understand that the door to effective influence is opened with the key of compassion? If you have not established that absolute heartfelt appreciation for your audience, if you are not committed to serving them over fulfilling your own needs to be seen a certain way egotistically or to be, appear a certain way or be perceived a certain way, you're never going to be able to reach someone. But what's so fascinating is that even if somebody's level of certainty in what you are trying to empower them to do is so low, if your certainty is so high and you have got absolute committed compassion that you are meeting that certainty with, you can bring them over. You all see that?